we're two international students. I'm Katarina, I'm 21 years old and I'm from Germany.
And I'm Amaury, I'm 22 years old and I'm from France. And we're going to present you cultural adaptation and some experiences we faced due to cultural difficulties.
Have fun. So for the cultural adaptation, that is what we're going to discuss today. And we're both going to share our experiences from when we went abroad. The first time that I went abroad was when I went for my year abroad to Spain. I went to Madrid for a year to work there as an au pair and to live with a family and get my Spanish degree. And for that time, it was the first time that I experienced another culture and I was away from home. So that was not a cultural shock, but it was certainly different. And I had to adapt to the Spanish way of life, that they just did everything way slower and way more chilled than, for example, German people would do that, and they would also take more time and just have a longer day in comparison to what I was used to. And then the second time that I went abroad before Malaysia was when I moved to the Netherlands, but that culture is rather close and very similar to what I'm used to from Germany, so that culture shock was not that much of an adaptation compared to what I experienced in Spain.
For my part, firstly, I came to South Africa during 6 months, 1 year ago, and I faced major daily insecurity. We got robbed twice, I had my credit card hacked in an ATM, and we couldn't be alone at night at all. It was something very different from France, a quite safe country even with the terrorist attacks, and it was the first time I discovered such insecurity, and it was hard to get used to it. Secondly, I am currently facing some mobility troubles here in Malaysia. I explain. I like running along the river, or taking my bike or subway or bus to go to one place, or even walk if it's not too far. But here I can't, as mobility is only driven by cars. For example, when you want to go to Somewhere Pyramid, 500 meters from here, we have no choice but to take a Grab or a Uber, and for the consequence, get locked in the jams. It's very difficult to accept. The U-curve model was developed by Calvero Oberg in 1960, and it used the form of the letter U to describe the different up and down during the time spent in the different country. It applies to time spent in a foreign country and suggests that the sojourner begins first to have an honeymoon, and then he gets depressive.
So for my experience when I went to Spain, I do know that none of the models really fits the experiences like for 100%, but I do remember that for the W curve, which was established in 1963, I do understand the phases which would fit the situation. So at the beginning you're in the honeymoon phase, which means that you're very excited about the new environment, and then all of a sudden it really turns into like this, the first U curve that you realize it's kind of a crisis, it's a shock, it's a new culture that you have to adapt to, and then you slowly adapt to that, it gets better, and then you have adapted to the new culture, which was definitely the case for me in Spain. And then once you go back to your normal life, if it was only for a temporary time, that you went to the different culture, then you go back, and then you kind of formed that depression phase again. It wasn't really a depression phase for me, but it took me some time to adapt again to my own culture in Germany before I started studying again. So that would be the W curve that would apply most to my situation, because of the crisis for the cultural shock that I had in Spain. That was mainly because of a family situation of mine where I needed just a bit more time to adapt to the culture.
So to sum up, we found that it was very difficult to generalize one situation, and to apply one role model to one particular situation is more like the model applies to one aspect of the situation abroad and the experience abroad.
And we also saw that cultural adaptation is a very personal process. Obviously, everyone has their own story. So if you have ever gone through such a cultural adaptation process, let us know in the comments and share your story. And do you also think that one module cannot be generalized, or do you think, yeah, there's definitely a situation, maybe in your case, where you can apply one module to your entire situation? Let us know about that. Thank you for listening to our story.
All right.
And bye. So from my experiences,
sorry, because I was like this.
just leave it. It's just gonna start again. That's okay.
I don't read, or is I read completely?